What's up, movie fans? Movie Guru here, and I'm back. I just released my top 10 mysteries video, and I got some new information after watching episode 4. And I want to go back over William after watching it. My question is, and this is a big one, is William a vampire? Or, I don't know, something equally scary? We found out that Patrice sent William to the group therapy meeting. He did buy the book, but we found out he stole the money from his ex-wife, who came to the island and whose name is Greta. We don't know if he's really an app developer or even a human for that part. And his whole story is still questionable after seeing him outside the art gallery in Norway. In episode 4, he's continuing with the extremely strange behavior, and it seems that he is inputting distrust in the relationship with Patrice. Now, from just trying to make it seem like Patrice is working with him pretty much and making up these fake backstories about his family and sending some type of anonymous text messages to Apollo and luring him to the island. And then, sort of, even though he got put in the cage with him, I mean, this man is just doing a lot of weird stuff. We see in the flashback in Norway outside the art gallery that he did have a wife and his kids, but we find out that he was responsible for killing his daughter. Like, man, and that was a big twist because it was supposed to be that, the Changeling took these kids over and they came to this island because Cal was the only person that was believing them and helping them. But now we found out that this guy is some sort of monster and he killed his kids. And so we get a lot of he said, she said in these episodes, and we really don't know what. But we do get a clue because Cal tells Apollo that the man in the cell, referring to William, works with monsters. And that was a surefire, hit on who this guy was. And then another indicator that made me think that this guy William is not human is because he got beat within an inch of his life. I mean, and afterwards, he pretty much seemed unfazed by it, and even had the audacity to say, "Oh yeah, at least I still got my glasses." Like his whole head wasn't just smashed in with a brick. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then we get to the coup de grace, which we see him do this monstrous transformation in episode 5, confirming to what I think is him being a vampire. During this exchange, we see Apollo going to the window of the cell where Brian is, and then he calls him by that name, and he gets the response that Brian is not even his name, and it's like, man, where is this going? And then he starts telling this story about how he found new friends who showed him who he was and gave him a new name, and we find out that his name is Kindergarten, and that was one of the people on the Friends book page that was communicating with green hair Harry, who we find out is Patrice. And it's like, man, what in the creepy pasta dark 5 is this? This serious tone changed, with this guy William is beyond creepy. And if I was Apollo, I would have been more scared from just being alone with this guy in the past, knowing that he was capable. But I could kind of tell by the way he was dressed and his demeanor that he was hiding something, and he was pretty much playing a role. And that's exactly what he was doing. There's a couple of clips in the show that point to there may be more than just witches. And one is when Apollo looks at his phone when he's talking to William in the diner. If you look at the information below it, it clearly says vampires as well. And then when he's on the boat with William, William says, putting this information out there can let anyone in. You can't let a vampire in if you don't invite them in. Now, I know he was referring to his friend Patrice, but I do think that he's referring to himself or another type of creature that's in the night. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's more to the William story? Do you guys think he's a vampire? Do you guys think he's just some dumb guy caught up in this whole thing being manipulated? We'll have to see. We were talking in the comments, so of course continue the conversations and talk to you guys some more in the comments. Let me know what you guys think if William is a vampire.